Vancouver, a farm worker who worked on a BC blueberry farm for 2 years has spoken out about abuses he suffered on the job, including being denied meal breaks and pay being withheld. Noe Barrientos Benitez, a father of 3 from Mexico, began working in Canada 4 years ago as part of the seasonal agricultural worker program. After the first 2 years, in which he worked at 2 different farms and eventually left one over lost wages, he was hired by Ray's Colebrook Farming in Surrey. Noe Barrientos, a farm worker from Mexico who worked at a blueberry farm in Surrey, said that he was exploited by his employers and denied wages. David P. Ball, Star Metro. On Thursday, he appeared on the front steps of the Immigration and Refugee Board of Canada in downtown Vancouver for a news conference, where he described experiencing exploitation and abuse at the farm. He said that, in the first year, he was not allowed to have breaks to buy food, and had parts of his wages withheld. At the end of that year, his employer promised things would be different in the following season, which he said did not happen. "I am sick and tired of waiting and being in this situation, working long hours, not having the opportunity to eat, to go buy groceries," he said in Spanish, which was translated to English by a translator on site. "I can't continue like this, without money, without my dignity, and I'm tired. I'm not going to let this go on anymore." Article continued below. Read more. He's worked legally in Canada for 37 years, but the government considers him temporary. Unscrupulous recruiters keep migrant workers in debt bondage. Immigrants and visitors to Canada working for free a common occurrence. Lawyers say Barrientos Benitez said that he had alerted the Mexican consulate to his situation, but nothing was done. He then sought the help of Migrant Workers' Dignity Association, which contacted Employment and Social Development Canada on his behalf. He said that a representative from that department was sent to the farm to inspect the living situation, but still nothing was done to improve his situation. The organization is now assisting him to apply for an open work permit, which could allow him to stay in Canada and work for another employer. But the owners of Ray's Colebrook Farming disagree with Barrientos Benitez's description of his time working on their farm. Article continued below. Jaswinder Rai, one of Barrientos Benitez's employers, said that he chose to work long hours with no breaks, even though breaks were offered. She also denied Barrientos Benitez's claim that he was told to lie to Service Canada representatives about unpaid wages. "That was a lie," Rai said. "He chose to work long hours. We always gave him the choice. We treated him like family." Rai admits that, due to an ongoing property dispute with her former husband, she was unable to pay Barrientos Benitez his full bi-weekly wages, but claims that they had agreed that he would receive $1,000 every paycheck and would receive the rest of the pay he was owed at the end of the season, which Barrientos Benitez fully consented to. Migrant rights advocates say that Barrientos Benitez's story is just one of many similar stories of unfair and exploitative labor conditions for farm workers under the Seasonal Agricultural Worker Program, where employers are permitted to hire temporary foreign workers from Mexico or some Caribbean countries to work on farms up to 8 months per year. Byron Cruz, an organizer with Sanctuary Health, which supports migrant farm workers, said that because farm workers can be dismissed by their employers and sent back to their home countries without cause, workers are afraid to speak up about any exploitation that may happen. He said that while Barrientos Benitez is one of the few who have come forward, he has heard from many other workers. "Noe is the voice of thousands of migrant workers," he said. "These workers don't have open working permits, they must work for the same landowner on the same farm, and if they raise their voice they won't be included in the program next year." Cruz said that workers are afraid from even asking for time off to go to doctor's appointments, for fear they will not be rehired. If they get a fracture they have to hide this, in order to survive and stay in the program. Some also suffer physical abuses. Juanita Sundberg, an associate professor of geography at UBC, said her research into the temporary foreign worker program shows an alarming level of exploitation as a result of the inability of workers to speak out. The program places them in precarious and insecure positions that expose them to egregious violations, exploitation and abuse, she said. With files from David P. Baltrice Sukaran is a Vancouver-based reporter covering youth. Follow her on Twitter, @Sukaran.